Hey, hi all. So I'm back again today, another session of interview series. I'm continuing, and today I'm covering the most important or most asked question from the J unit perspective, basically. Like the questions which are being most asked in many of the companies. So that I've covered in this top 10 questions series of J unit, and I will be uploading into a same series section of Spring Boot microservices where I am uploading. I will be uploading this also, and further I will be uploading there the questions of Hibernate and JPA along with the Kafka as I mentioned earlier also. So let's get started. Okay, so let me zoom out this. Okay, so I've covered total 10 questions here, and before that, like if you haven't like and subscribe my channel, please like, share and subscribe my channel. So let's get started. So first question says that why can't we use the sysout or basically system.out.println for testing and debugging? Why we require JUnit? This question is being asked in many of the interviews. Then second question says that why do we use JUnit? And who uses JUnit? More developers or tester? This is the second question is asked in the interview. Then third question says the difference between JUnit 4 version and JUnit 5. What are the major differences? Like if JUnit 4 was there, so why we need the JUnit 5? Then fourth question, can we test a private method by JUnit? If yes, then how? Like private methods are as they are not accessible, they are accessible in the same class. So then how we can access it? So that I will be explaining you. This is also the most asked interview question and the tricky question it is. Can we test void methods by JUnit? This is the next question being asked. Then sixth question is explain at the rate Mockito and at the rate inject mock. This I have covered from the Mockito framework. This question is being basic. They need to check like whether you are aware about Mockito or not. Then how you disable a test in the EGI unit. This is the seventh question. Then eighth question we have how do you write test cases for interfaces. And then ninth question we have at the rate before each and at the rate after each you need to explain. Then last question is what is TDD approach and what is BTD approach, that is test driven development and behavior driven development. What are these? Basically you need to explain this. So I'm will starting with the first question, going one by one. Okay, so the question says that, why can't we use the sysout statements for testing and debugging? So basically, sysout statements, as they are already, it is not advised that when we are writing the code, so we do not need to use the sysout statements in between the code. Like most of the developers have the practice, or they just follow that. They will print that sysout statement that what is the output they are getting, or till that point they have written the code. So what they are getting it. So they are checking this. So sysout is not a reliable or scalable method for testing because it doesn't provide structured results. It's required manual checking of console output. That is true. As I mentioned, we need to check in the console. It is not suitable for automation, and it cluttered codes and can be forgotten in production. So if anyhow like your sysout statement is gone, your code has been gone into production, then it will take a lot of memory, and sometimes due to memory issues your application can be down also. So that's why sysout statements are not used while writing the code, or if we are writing the production code. So then we are not so instead of sysout you can use the loggers. So loggers are easier to print that thing in the logs. You can check it, or you can like easily you can check like and it takes less memory as compared to sysout one. So that's why we can use logger instead of sysout. Sysout is not a good practice. You can explain this to the interviewer and use unit testing frameworks like JUnit for consistent and automated testing. So we can use the JUnit testing framework for consistent automated testing, and we can have the real mocking objects also we can do using the JUnit. This is you can explain it. This will be enough for the interviewer. He can get your point, like what you need to say. Then basically we have the next question. Then why do we use JUnit? As I mentioned earlier also that nowadays interviewer are asking what is JUnit instead of they are asking why. Why I think is very important. Like why do we use JUnit, and who uses the JUnit, more developers or tester? So JUnit is used to automate unit tests for Java code. That is true. Then ensure code works as expected, ensures or enables a test driven development or TDD approach. So basically TDD is approach is that in which you write the test cases before your code logic, or before writing the code you write the test cases just to check whether this functionality will be working in that way or not, and then you write the code or the main logic of that particular code. So that is the most of the companies follows this TDD approach and integrate with CI/CD pipelines also. Like you can integrate this JUnit test cases over with the CI/CD pipelines. Then JUnit primarily used by developers. That is the main answer of the second question is that who uses the JUnit, developers or testers. So they are used by the developers, but testers may can also use it for integration or the regression testing also. Like mainly they are used by the developers, but testers can also be used because they have the integration regression testing, so there they can use it. Now next question. So basically difference between JUnit 4 and JUnit 5. So this is the another interview question most asked, that JUnit 5 is a major upgrade over JUnit 4. Like basically JUnit 4 was there until Java 7. From Java 8 onwards, like we have the JUnit 5, and JUnit 5 works from Java 8 onwards only. Like it supports Java 8 and plus Java 8 versions. Before Java 8 it doesn't support. And JUnit 5 equals to platform plus Jupyter is an API plus Vintage. It is a combination of these three things, and uses at the test instead of org.junit. In JUnit 4 we were using org.junit, but it uses the annotation at the test. And major differences, if you say that it was JUnit 5 works on Java 8 and JUnit 4 works on earlier versions of Java like Java 7, Java 6 we were using, but from Java 8 onwards we can use the JUnit 5. It is having much more advantages of JUnit 4. Like it is having more annotations or more described annotations like at rate before each, at rate after each, at rate tag, at rate, etc. But in JUnit 5 you were having at rate before, at rate before all. So these annotations are modified in JUnit 5. Then JUnit 5 supports dynamic test, better IDE and Gradle Maven support also. Like IDE, Gradle, Maven support, JUnit 5 is a better version of it, and it's a modular and extensible. So these are the major differences you can easily explain to the interviewer. Now the next question: can we test private method by JUnit? If yes, then how? Like most of the people get stuck in this question, and it's the most recommended question being asked by the interviewer. Like they basically are test checking whether you are aware about JUnit framework or not, whether we have faced this type of scenario in your while writing your code. So basically yes, but it's not recommended unless necessary. Like private methods can be tested by the JUnit, but it is not recommended. See how we can test the private method. If anyhow, like if we face the condition, use the reflection API to access the private methods. One way is there. Then second way is there to refactor code to make private logic testable via public methods. This is the second way, and this is the second way. Most of the developers, if we have faced this condition, they have used this refactor code, means they have called the private method in the public method somehow, and then that public method, like they are testing it, so that private method logic is also being tested. This is the second one. And first one is then they can use the reflection API and use the frameworks like PowerMock. This is the third approach that use the frameworks. Like if you are aware about PowerMock, then you can go with the PowerMock to test the private methods via JUnit. Then we have the next question: can we test void methods by JUnit? Yes, we can test the void methods by JUnit. Like how we can test it? Mockito is there to verify the method calls. There is a verify method is there. It will check whether this particular method is being called or not, and we can mention that how many times this method need to be called. That also we can mention it. And then asserting changes in the state. Suppose if you have added the list, and inside list you have added the elements, so you can just simply check the size of the elements of the list via logger, so that you can easily get that this particular test case has been done and it has been successful. And then checking side effects, example database changes also, like if you are doing any database changes in the void method, so that also is possible. Or last thing is that you can throw the simply some exception via void method. Then also you with the help of the assert throw is a method in the JUnit, so then also you can check like your void methods are checked there. So this is my I have covered this till now here in the part 1 video. Now the next video will be uploaded or covering of rest of the questions. Till that, let me know like if you have any suggestions that, and please like and share, subscribe my channel, and rest of the questions are covered in my next video. You can just go through there. Thanks.